Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So 30th of October, good grief, I don't know where this year's going really, it's just gone by so fast. So if you've been following my channel and you watched the last couple of videos, you'll know that I did a colouring tag which was the scavenger hunt part 2. Which you can find on my channel. I'll put a little eye up there where you can find it. And I set myself a personal challenge because in that video I showed you 11 uncoloured pictures that hadn't been touched at all, and I set myself the challenge of that was going to be this month's colouring. So I'm going to show you those pictures and we'll see whether I completed that challenge or not. So before I started the challenge I'd coloured one page in here, which is the Colouring Haven's Endangered Animals by the wonderful Tim Jeffs. I adore his work. If you haven't got this or any of his work, go and check him out because he is just an incredible artist. He really is. Wonderful, wonderful person. He's on Etsy, he's on Instagram. Go over and find him. He's just amazing. So I did this little guy. Now, I can't pronounce him. This is the image that I pulled off the internet. And I can't pronounce him. I thought he was like a little bush baby, but he's not. He's this. However you say that. Sorry about the shadow from my camera. Isn't he adorable? I've got some glossy accent on his big, beautiful eyes. And he's done with entirely in Derwent pastel pencils. Oh, I'm sorry, I mixed it up with a little bit of Carbothello, just to get the different tones in the greens and things. I adore him. He's just beautiful. And this paper works so well with the pastels. So I'll put that together. So let's get into my challenge. So that was the wonderful Tim Jeffs. Okay, so in the challenge I had 11 items that I needed to find in colouring books, and like I say, all of those were blank, and we're going to go through and see if I completed that challenge. But I have coloured them all this month and we'll go through. So the first one I had to find was a picture of a beverage or a drink, and I thought where better to start than the wonderful work of Charles Santor in the Alice's Adventures of Wonderland. Now this is just the most spectacular artwork. It really is. That was one I completed before with crayon pencils. That's what I'm doing. Let's look at, look at the images. The imagery in this is just phenomenal. So I did this little lady, Alice, for the drink. And I'll see if I can bring you in a little bit. I don't want to mess the camera up. Oh, wrong way, Lucy. Okay. So she's done entirely with, let me move the lighting again. She's done entirely with polychromos. And I even did the front of the book, you get the images in the front of all the pictures and how they were originally coloured. By Charles Santor. So I followed, and there's the back page, and I followed the front page and did it as close as I could get to Charles's original illustrations. So no, I lie, it's not entirely polychromos. This was a mix of polychromos and crayon, and they work absolutely beautifully together. And I'm really pleased with this page actually. I love the tone that I've managed to get in her skin. If I can lift her up for you. I hope you can pick that up because I'm really pleased with how her skin came out. I love the bottle. I'm not used to doing glass, but I'm really pleased with how it came out. And what can I say? They're just outstanding images in this book, along with the story on the other page. So yeah, I'm thrilled with how this turned out. I think she's gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So that was number one, a picture of a beverage. So there she is, Alice about to drink her potion. So that was that, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Then I had to find number 2, a picture of a dog. And I did a picture, let's move back out for a second, I want you to be able to see the books. I did a picture in Wild Soul by Grazio Salvo. Now I understand that she's re-released this and it was for sale on Amazon, I think. I got this from Etsy when it was first released, and my book was 575 out of 850 copies, and she signed it, which is just wonderful. So I had to find a picture of a dog, and I chose to do the Afghan Hound. Now this book's quite big, so I want to try and make sure that you can see it all. There she is. So I wanted her hair to be slightly darker than the dog's, but I wanted, you know, like they say, oh, let me move him down, you're still not getting him in, hang on. You know how they say the owners look like their dogs? Well, that's how I wanted to kind of keep this imagery. She is done, they both are done with a mix of pan pastels, Derwent pastel pencils, and I think I used a little bit of the Derwent drawing pencil range just to add a little bit more definition into the hair. But I'm thrilled with this picture too. This paper is not the easiest in this version to work with. It does take pastel very well, but it is quite grainy and it can make your work a bit streaky. So if I lift her up instead of messing with the camera, and him, I just want to stroke him and kiss his nose. He's so lovely. Look at him. Yeah. So there she is. I love this book. Yeah, and I'm thrilled with it. I'm really pleased with the majority of the pictures I've done this month, and actually I probably wouldn't have chosen to colour the images I had Danny Buttons not done the scavenger hunt tag, and it forced me to find these images. And then when I was making the video I thought, oh, this would be a good idea to make these my colouring pages because they're all blank. That was a challenge and a half to colour 11 pages of quite intricate stuff, but I've really enjoyed what I've done. It's been amazing. So and that's, you know, it's actually been a pleasure, because there's nights where I've thought, oh, I don't want to colour that picture when I've got home from work, but I've pushed on and done it, started it, and once I've started it I've really enjoyed it. So, and the results for me anyway speak for themselves, and I think you can see that there was pleasure in the work that I've done. So that was Wild Soul colouring book by the lovely Grazio Salvo. She's just an incredible artist. Okay, so number 3 on the list was something spooky or something that scares you. And I wanted something a little bit different. And I chose, I mean, it is pretty gory, this little dude, whoever he is. Let me bring you in. I keep pressing the wrong way, I do apologise. Actually, if I leave it there you can see, and I'll lift him up. So it had to be something that scares you. Now, as a child and still as an adult at sometimes, I will admit that a dark doorway that's propped open at night time when you're up, that can really freak me out and give me like the heebie-jeebies. So when I saw this book, this image by Terry Sherman, artist, and he is linked in the Scavenger Hunt Part 2, if you want a copy of it. I bought it from Etsy, and it just personifies fear for me completely. So this is done with, I'm trying to think of the name, Neo Colour 2s, and then I went over with Black Widows. I use the Black Widows quite a lot this month. So there he is, look at that face. God, I would poop my pants if I saw that coming out the cupboard. And I wanted, although his hands are very skeletal, I still wanted it to look like there was flesh, you know? So, yeah, I would absolutely poop my pants. So that is my number 3. I don't think I used anything else on there. Just Neos and Black Widows. Yeah, just Neos and Black Widows, and I think he turned out really well. Yeah, so that was number 3, a picture of something spooky or something that scares you. So that was Terry Sherman, artist. Alright, so number 4 was a picture of a witch. I think I'm doing pretty good so far, guys. You know, there was no pressure or anything. Okay, so I did a double page spread because I'm an idiot. And I'm going to bring the camera in to look at my little post-it on the wall. I love this book. This is Sorcerers, or Witches I presume it is, in French. It is available on Amazon. I linked, all these books were linked in my Scavenger Hunt Part 2 if you're interested in them. So they're all there. Yeah, so I did this page and she has got a bit of glitter on her. Can you see? I used that cheap glitter that I did in my haul. She's got a bit on her cloak. I don't know if the lighting in here is picking that up, but yeah. I thought it was so comical, you know, this image with the wind blowing everything. Let me try and zoom out slightly. Okay. With the wind blowing, her hair's all over the place. So I just did inks. I inked the background with my inks. I do have a little bit of distress ink, but I generally use these, which I got in my birthday haul, which I showed, and they're really, really good. So I inked the background with greys and a blue, and then I used a mix of Black Widows and the Coloursoft pencils for the trees and the leaves. So I just did a mix of oranges and greens, very simple leaves, not really particularly blended. I worked quite hard to get the trees. And I just think she's so funny. Excuse me, there you go, you can pick the glitter up there. And it worked, yeah, it worked really well. So I'm actually quite pleased with that. I wasn't to start with. When I started inking, I thought, oh, this patch here was too dark. But actually I thought darker over here and then let it sort of fade out around her. And I actually quite like the page now. There's a little rogue bit of glitter there. Yeah, so another one, like I said, you know, I was quite pleased with, I've used a different variety of mediums and it turned out really well. So there she is. So that was number 4, a picture of a witch. Okay, number 5 was a picture of candy. Now I'll be honest folks, I've just finished this one tonight. It was the last one. I put it off and put it off and put it off. But I did a picture in Hansel and Gretel by Fabiana Attanasio. I've never coloured sweets, candy in my life, ever. And I've done it, but finished it tonight when I got home from work so that I could show you guys, but I haven't put any background on it because be honest, I ran out of time. So this is the introduction page, if you like, with all the bump on it, and I wanted to have time to put pastel edging around it just to sort of bring the sweets to the foreground, but I haven't had chance. So nice and bright sweeties. I used some KJ Designs watercolour paint on the sweeties. I used Derwent Coloursoft, I used Prismacolors and white Posca pen and the KJ Designs by Karen. And I'm actually, I don't like these, I don't know what they're meant to be, so I just coloured them anyhow. But I'm actually quite pleased with like the donuts and the chocolate covered cupcake. And I did lime lollies and a lime lolly covered in chocolate. I think it's supposed to be like a candy apple or toffee apple, but I wanted to keep the colours bright, and I'd already got the reds for the candy canes, so I didn't want the red to be a focus here, so I used the lime again. I really love how the pretzels turned out. I'll lift it up so you can see. Yeah, and so I'm really pleased actually. It was a bit rushed, I have to say, because it was the last image that I chose to colour in, and I've done it over the last 2 nights, I think. It's taken quite a bit of more time than I thought. And I had started this one over the page, and I was going to do this, but I wasn't completely happy with it. So it's kind of more work than I thought. So that was number 5, a picture of candy, and I think you'll agree there's plenty of candies on that page to pass for that one. So that's Hansel and Gretel, Fabiano Attanasio. Beautiful book. And then number 6 was a woodland critter. Now I changed this one from my original pictures, the PDFs that I was going to colour. And I got a new PDF from Etsy. This is just my protective scrap piece of paper over the top of it until I put it in my folder. And I did this little guy. I did put him on Instagram because I was very pleased with him. Now, oh gosh, I can't remember. Oh, I can. I've written it on the back, ColorWithSteph from her Etsy store. I'll link her down below because this is a new one. And I fell in love with him when I saw him, and he was under £2 for this image, so I had to get him, and I will lift him up instead of messing about. So in the UK we have red squirrels that are quite endangered now, so I wanted to try and do a red squirrel, and I did this with Derwent pastel pencils, Carbothello pastel pencils, and the base, and round here is the Faber-Castell soft pastel sticks, and I sprayed it. I've had a lot of people asking me what I'm using, and I've been using the Frisk pastel fixative, and it says it's acid free, it's suitable for use with pastel crayon, charcoal, chalk and transfer lettering. Well, just a tip guys, it really is a very good fixative. However, it transfers the colour through, and if you can see, I wrote the date that I did it and the name of the person I got it from Etsy, and that was with biro on the back. And when I sprayed the image, I don't know if you're going to pick that up, it's brought the ink through. Well, that's rare for biro. So although it's a fantastic fixative, if you do this in a book and if you use things like the pinks and purples, it pushes the colour through the page. So please be aware of that. And if anybody knows of a really good fixative that doesn't have this problem where ink's being drawn through or being pushed through the page, could you let me know, because you know how much pastel work I like to do. And I just thought, what a beautiful image, and a typical woodland creature, particularly for here in the UK. So that was number 6, and then we've got number 7, a picture of palm trees. So I chose Gnomes in the Neighbourhood. I wanted all these pictures to be very different, you know, and pictures that I hadn't, you know, that I don't normally colour. So I really did stretch myself. And just so you know, yes, I did finish my challenge. I thought, now we've got to number 7, I should let you on. I did finish my challenge. So, palm trees. I did this one. And I really, really love this little page. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer, just so you can get... There we go. I don't want to do any closer because I can't get all the image in. So, on this, I inked the sky, the clouds in the sky, and I inked the sand, and then I used Colour Soft, Black Widows, and I used Polychromos. So this is a rarity for me. I don't normally, I'll do mixed media in terms of water base and pencils over it, but this is the first month where I've really mixed up my pencils. And I'm really pleased with the results, actually. So, look at his hair. Looks like a little Viking, doesn't he? And there's our lady there being carried along with our manservant, ready to go and relax on her tropical beach. Yeah, so I'm thrilled to bits with it, I have to say. And the only other one I'd coloured in this book was from a tutorial with Colour and Chat with Sammy. She did a live. I'll show you quick. I can find it. there, and I haven't finished it, but a wonderful picture that Sammy's done when it's finished. But yeah, so it forced me, like I say, this tag into doing pictures that I wouldn't normally colour, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it turned out really well. So that was Gnomes in the Neighbourhood and a picture of palm trees. And then number 8, I had to do a picture of vegetables. So I did another book by the wonderful Charles Santor, and this is an illustration from Classic Tales colouring book. This is incredible. Let me come out again, just so you can get it all in. And I did the gorgeous Peter Rabbit with his vegetables. So he's got his radishes and his pea pods, a bit of lettuce around the outside, and of course his carrots that he's nicked from Mr. McGregor's garden. And it's all pastel pencils, the entire thing. There's no other medium on there, just pastel pencils and pastel sticks for the background. And I think he's adorable. I'm really pleased with how he turned out. Yeah. And I love these pastels. I know I keep banging on about it, but they are so beautiful and easy to work with. I can't get over it. So there's Peter Rabbit, which holding all the vegetables. So that was my picture of vegetables. Then I had to do a picture of a hat. So I did this one, this PDF of Fairies and of Water Lily Woods by Leslie, I don't know how you pronounce that, Smithering, and I don't know, but I did her. And she is, again, pastel pencils. Now I used a mixed media paper, and I don't like how the pastels performed on it. It says for pastels, and it was the paper that I had in my haul video, not the last haul video, the one before. And I don't like how the pastels turn out on it, but I think she's gorgeous. Little bell round her neck and her corset. Yeah, I think she turned out really well with her little red beret. Yeah, and this is a beautiful book. If you haven't seen this, it is slightly grayscaled, but it is absolutely beautiful, very different, lovely book. So that was a picture of a hat was number 9. Then I had a picture of books. Now, if you'd have watched the other tag that I was tagged in, which was from the lovely Kirsty, the Would You Rather tag, I was colouring this when we did it. And this is The Mysterious Library, a colouring book into fables. Now, this is a double page spread, but I didn't colour it as a double page spread because it held its own. And I would never have got through it had I have chosen double page spreads. And anyway, that's 11 pictures. So this is the whole image, if you can see all that. It's a bookshelf, but she's walking into the first book. But it does have books, so I can be forgiven for that one. I will finish the image because it's so wonderful. Let me bring you in. Oh, Lucy. There. It's such a wonderful image. I'll hold it up. So here she is, and she's about to take a walk through that woods. I'd love to go for a walk through there. And then over this page, this is all pastel pencils, the entire thing pastel pencils. You've got the Once Upon a Time and her little cat following her. And then the spine of this book has the castle on it, and that's what I was working on when I was doing the tag. So that's a picture of books, and I love it. And I love how the pastels work in this page. You have to be quite careful on this paper because it won't take that much pastel, but as you can see, beautiful bright colours, and yeah, I'm thrilled with it. Turned out really, really well. I hope you like it too, guys. So that was a picture of books, and then the very last one, the last and final one I had to do was where do you wish you could travel to right now? And I did This was right at the beginning of the month. The first one I coloured for this challenge was from a book, this beautiful book called Charming Villas by the Sea. And I haven't tagged it because I'm a loon. Oh, that was last month. Here we go. So that's the image that the book gives you to copy, and I think they're like oil paintings because you can see the texture in them. And then here's my version, and I couldn't, I'll be honest, I did with pastel pencils, Carbothello and Derwent, and I couldn't get the brightness that was in this image. I didn't have the colour mix. But I think if I can turn it that way for you, I know it's the wrong way round. So this bit is what I'm missing, that vivid turquoise blue, and I think the rest isn't too bad actually. But and I'm pleased with that. I think it's wonderful imagery. This book is incredible. Yeah. So it said, where do you wish you were, or you could travel to right now? And in the tag I said, anywhere by the sea. And this one, at the time, felt so tranquil, but there's another one with a rocking chair in it that I would like to do, so I might try that this month. But I'm thrilled. So anyway, guys, that's 12 completed pictures this month, and I think you'll agree, not all of them were easy images, so I've worked really hard to give you something. You know, I promised you that I would, so I worked really hard to get it done. And considering I was ill for like 4 days, yeah, I think I did good. So I'll stop wittering on. I'll let you all go, guys. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'm loving making videos on the channel and chatting to everyone in the comments. I'm really enjoying it. But I'll let you go for now, and I'll see you probably in another 3 days with something new. I'm not sure what yet, but something new. So take really good care of yourselves, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.